I got a chuckle from your comments on the A12 G2 launch video. Finally, my grandkids can see G2 Black once in their life, or, waiting another 10 years for a Chromax to release. Well, you know what? Get those grandkids ready, because welcome to Machines and More, and Merry Christmas of sorts, because it took less than 10 months from the launch of the A12 G2s for the Chromax to arrive. They said it was going to be fast when I first saw them at Computex, but I think most of you will be pleasantly surprised that they are actually here. So quick plug here. On this channel, I cover a variety of tech-related and DIY PC-related content. I would be so appreciative if you would make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and please give a like here, because it really helps the channel grow. Big thanks. So if you were waiting to get the best 120mm PC fan in the world because the color was a turnoff, this may not be to everyone's liking. Hey, thank you, Noctua. Last time we had a Chromax launch was last year with A14 G2. The A12 G1 Chromax was more than 4 years ago, and these events are, in a way, a generational opportunity, right? So if this is the first time you've heard about Noctua, you might be wondering why this is such a big deal. Should the fans come in black to begin with, right? So standard Noctua blade color is this darker brown, and this isn't just regular plastic. This is liquid crystal polymer. Injection molded material that they call Sterox, so changing the color introduces additional variables. And because the fan is so precise with its 0.5mm clearances between the blade and the fans that Noctua is particular about, you can't just paint this black and call it a day. I mean, I guess you could, but then when it starts looking like garbage shortly, then you'd be blaming them, right? So they did take their time to make sure that the new fan performs just like the regular model, and also that the color looks right. And now you can probably tell that the blade assembly of the new one isn't a true black. It's more of a very dark gray, and that is housed in I'd say this is black frame. Performance-wise, these are the same fan as a tan and brown, just a color variant. So it's still going to be the best 120mm fan on the market. I've run them in the Thermaltake TR200. Acoustically, they are the same. We don't have to dive deep into that. You might wonder that this is an expensive fan, $35 each. So, they are actually going to come in at the same price as the original, the tan and browns. But how can I use such an expensive fan effectively, right? So one reasonable way is to use them as a radiator fan, either on an open loop or just replace, something like this. This is a stock fan from the AIO that I built in the TR200 with. So you can just replace stock fans on an AIO and just demonstrate here. I popped the 360 I built in with the TR200 review, and those stock Be Quiet fans needed to run 1750 RPM or so to get a decent temp with the 285K. The stock fans are actually pretty decent fans. Be Quiet makes some very good units. With the A12 G2s, I could max them out, and they were still a decibel quieter. So not only are they performing better here, they're also much easier on the ears. So now I've got these on at max. Just to give you an idea, this is an omnidirectional mic that I'm holding, and we're talking. You can hear me, and the noise profile is superb with these G2s. The frequency, the noise pattern, or I guess lack thereof, they lend themselves really well to a comfortable and relaxing computing environment. You can also use these to replace a stock air cooler fan. I did an experiment not so long ago that I'll link up here that you can take a look at. Anytime, basically, that you can replace a fan that has to run at a moderately high to high RPM, these are going to be excellent. So not that you can't use them as case fans, and they actually work great in that scenario. It's just that they are expensive fans, and if you're only going to be replacing fans that were only running at, say, less than 800 RPM to begin with, yes, they will be dead silent, but you're not really realizing all the potential of these fans, right? One thing to be aware of, they don't have an exceptionally high ceiling. As mentioned, I maxed out on these before I could catch the noise level of the louder stock AIO fans. Not that you need faster in most scenarios, and certainly not this scenario, and certainly not for your ears' sake. But if you have high-speed fans and you regularly, deliberately run in that 2500 to 3000 RPM range, this then would not be a sensible or suitable replacement. So with this kit, you get a single fan here. Comes with the radiator gasket, splitter, low noise adapter, anti-vibration mount, and fan screws. And you can also get the PXP set, which involves a plus or minus 50 RPM offset between the two fans in that set to avoid beat frequency or growling when fans next to each other interact when running too similar of an RPM. They're also a bit cheaper in that set versus buying two singles. So if you are doing a set for a 240, perfect, just get that. For a 360 like I demoed here, I would just get a single regular one plus a PXP set, since the A and B fans in the set already have a different RPM level versus the single, the non-set version. And then you can just mount the A and B next to each other, and actually it doesn't really matter since all three of your fans should in theory have different RPMs. You could also get two sets, right, and then do ABA or BAB, and then for your odd one out, you can use it to replace a case fan, which actually could use here because I'm still using that stock one, and I don't have another G2 Chromax. But you know, G1 Chromax, you know, pairs fine if you have them already, and if you're just switching, you know, switch your most vital ones out first. One thing to note about the Chromax G2 is that it has a decent amount of cable compared to the G1 Chromax, which just had this short section, and it came with an extension cable, but you needed to either use that or a splitter to connect it. And this differed from the original G1 in that the G1 had a cable like this as well. I personally would not replace G1s if you're just using them as a case fan. I really don't think you're going to see a meaningful difference. But if you are setting up a brand new system, obviously the G2 is the way to go, especially given the pricing. So yeah, just a quick overview of the new Chromax G2s, and really mainly to show you the fans. I hope you enjoyed this first look here. I think this definitely makes this model more marketable, something for everybody, but a lot easier to get into, you know, the best PC fan in the world. And I'm really excited to see them make their way into your builds. Links will be down below. Please like, subscribe. Big thanks for watching. Get those grandkids